You are not listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on Uncensored Radio. Back in studio, the gold motherfucking standard, Melvin Mayhem. And I have a good one for you guys tonight. You guys have been asking for it. I got him back on the show. I'm speaking of none other than the head of Annihilation Inc., Mr. Justin Kyle. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Of
It's
course,
good to
I'd
have,
like to be
good to have
known
you.
as your current Infernal Vengeance champion, Justin
Absolutely.
Kyle.
One of the many titles you had in this league, correct?
Yes, sir. But anyway, as we're going,
Yeah, well, we're gonna get into all that. Trust me, I got everything I need here to really, dive deep into your stable and what's going on. You guys have been pretty busy as of late, to say the least. But so I'm gonna start this off the same way I started off with Wolf Tyrant. For anybody that hasn't caught that podcast, go back and check it out. I did interview Wolf Tyrant. We got into a nice discussion, and luckily I have you on this time, so I get to pick your brain on some stuff. Obviously, again, your stable has been very, very busy lately. You're going to continue to be busy because you guys have been booked for some big matches, which we're going to touch on later. But first thing I got to get out the way, same thing I asked Wolf. What are your thoughts on the recent purging that took place in the league? Obviously, my hand was forced, but I think it was for the better of the league. I just wanted your thoughts on, what went down, how it went down, and my decision at the end.
well, I can see where it took you a minute, to think about it and come to making the decision. But bottom line, I mean, it's about damn time. The league started strong, but here lately we had some dead weight. We had some
That's
people that were just hanging around, not doing anything.
mm,
And that's not going to do anything to grow this league. So,
exactly.
bottom line, it's about time. Get them the hell out of here.
The Cretans are gone, as we like to say. Thanks to Giuliano, we're calling them the Cretans.
I'll take that. I like it. I like it.
So yeah, the Cretans are gone. I'm glad you're on the same page with myself, Wolf, and all the others that stuck around. So again, thank you for continuing to be with the league. You got a lot of stuff going on. And obviously, with that being said, I did send out my recent report, which kind of piggybacks on what you just said, where things are getting back to the way it were, where they used to be. And so, what are your thoughts on the last report that I sent out for you guys?
Well, I always look forward to the report. I always know our esteemed commissioner is going to put out the best report in the league. But
Thank you.
then, you know me, I'm not one to come on here and kiss nobody's ass either.
Of course, of
Being
course.
right after the purge, I thought, yeah, our commissioner normally does a little better than this.
You're
Uh,
absolutely right. I have to totally agree with
but
that.
but you have to have something to work with.
Exactly. And
So
again, I got rid of these guys now. It looks like the quality is coming back. The people that are in it to really help the league progress, they finally got back on their horse and they're starting to submit some quality trash talk. It reflected in this cycle. Obviously, you guys were part of that. So kudos to you guys for jumping in on that and getting the league back to where it needs to be.
but before we leave that subject, though, I want to make sure I was highly excited about our new, what y'all call them, our cup of horrors. Yeah.
Three girls in one cup.
There you go. Yeah, I could not have been, happier with their debut
Oh, absolutely.
in this last report.
Repackaging. It's more of a repackaging than anything. I
Yeah,
mean, Daddy's
yeah.
have been around from day one, but now they have their official name. So it was a beautiful sight to behold.
Let's just say I like the package.
I like all three packages.
Yeah, that's now you're talking about Justin Kyle.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. But speaking of Justin, I gotta ask you, man. The last cycle we had the big pay per view went down. Viral Violence. It was a barn burner of a pay per view, and you were involved in the main event against none other than the man in the buff, Hal Uranus. Unfortunately for you, you did suffer a loss. It was an Extreme Rules match. During the match, you kind of laid into him as soon as the bell rang, kind of tried to take advantage of his previous match during the night. He did defend the Eliminator X title, and although he did defeat Minister of Hate, he was pretty banged up. And you did what you were supposed to do. You tried to take advantage of that, and walk out with the biggest title in the league. But unfortunately, it seemed like you kind of did it to yourself because you started throwing some weapons in there and really trying to get the upper hand on him. But it kind of backfired, and Hal ended up catching you with the same chain link you threw into the ring. And unfortunately, he hit you with the vitamin D, Justin. And I know you didn't want to get hit with that, but You were the recipient of probably the most feared move in the entire WWL. So, what are your thoughts on getting hit with the vitamin D, and what do you do from this point on?
Well, before I get into the match and the vitamin D and so forth, I just want to say, Hal freaks me the hell out. Yeah. It's like if, maybe if Gold Dust and John Holmes had got together and have a baby,
That'll
that'd
be
be
high
Hal.
greatest. That's a
But
good way to put it.
with that being said, you got to give the man his due.
Yeah,
He's won
absolutely.
everything you can possibly win right now.
This is true.
So, his accomplishments speak for themselves. Uh, as far as my side of it, it was a tough night. I hit that son of a bitch, just like you said, with everything in the ring, everything outside the ring. He was on match 2, and there was just nothing taking him out.
Yeah,
So,
pretty. That's a testament to this guy's fortitude for sure.
I mean, you know me. I'm always going to tell you straight, exactly like it is. And that night, better man came out on top. Now, I'm sure we'll face each other again.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
when that day comes, I'll make sure that we come out with a different ending.
Well, the time is gonna come. You can count on that. I'm pretty sure you guys, like you said, you're gonna cross paths again down the line. When and where remains to be seen, and maybe it'll be for a title, maybe not. But you guys are definitely gonna run into each other in the ring. I'm sure about that. But again, you tried, you did what you could do. Again, it was a tough loss. But again, you got nothing to be worried about or ashamed of because you are one of the most decorated people in this league from day one. I'm also actually about to get into that now to kind of let the people at home know, similar to what I did with Wolf Tyrant Stable, where in their case it was more of them being kind of under the radar. Annihilation Inc. Me and Flip touched on this from the very beginning that you guys were overlooked. We kind of owned up to that, and since then you guys have been putting on a show, man, winning belt after belt. Just like Wolf Tyrant's roster, you guys have basically everybody in your team has won a title, multiple titles actually. You guys had actually some more success. And right now, just before I even get into this, for the folks at home, I'd like for you to pretty much let us know who's on your roster. And like I did in the last podcast, I'm going to take it from there.
Well, that's an easy one. Obviously, I run things up, Justin Kyle. And then, of course, the first lady of Annihilation, which I'll get into talking about her a little bit more later,
Yeah, we definitely going to get into her.
would be Angel. Poison 1 and 2. And then you got to go Slash, Axel, and Crown, the dominant 6-man team in the
Oh yeah,
WWL
we're
or
going
in
to
the
touch on that
IWA right now.
pretty much.
The overlooked member, our bodyguard, and the guy
Yeah.
that has our back but doesn't usually get talked about much, the enforcer, Elick.
Like yes, but he's having success too, which I'm gonna mention now. But so for you guys that don't know, that is the group that makes up Annihilation Inc. here in the WWL. They've been here from day one, and they've been pretty much delivering on all fronts, man. I have so much respect for this stable. Again, you guys will never be overlooked ever again. You kind of were overlooked slightly in NBL, but you did the same thing you're doing here, where you kind of said, you know what, here we are. And nobody could take that away from you. Now they know who Annihilation Inc. is. They know not to fuck with you guys. LOD is learning the hard way, which we're gonna get into later. But before we touch on that, I'm just gonna give the folks at home a quick rundown of all the titles you guys have won, just to remind everybody just how good Annihilation Inc. is. So I'm gonna start with you. You mentioned in the beginning you are the reigning Infernal Vengeance champion. So congratulations on acquiring that title. That was a great bounce back from losing to Hal. Again, you did it exactly what I've been saying. You just lost to Hal, but you came back and took a title. So you can't take anything away from your abilities in the ring. You've also been a former Smoldering Sorrow champion, a former Court of Torment champion, former Belt of Subtlety champion, and a former Circle of Sanity TV 6-man champion. So just you alone, obviously, you have a lot of accolades to go along with that. So you're just as good, if not better, than a lot of the other members of this roster. So kudos to you for that. First lady, Angel of Annihilation. Again, she's actually the only one in your stable that has won the Crest of Chaos champion. So that says a lot. Where your female. That's how dangerous she is. She actually won the league title.
She's a
And not
bad
only
little
that,
bitch.
she absolutely is. That whoever doesn't know that, they're gonna know now. And she's also scheduled for some big things down the line, which I'm going to mention later on. It's kind of a surprise, but we'll get to that. She's also been the Infernal Vengeance champion and a Shattered Bloodlust champion. You mentioned Alec, the Enforcer. He's actually won 2 titles, Smoldering Sorrow, and he's a former Court of Torment champion as well. Then you said it yourself, Axel, Slash, and Crown. Listen, these, and aside from the Destiny being the Unholy Trinity champions, which you guys are going to face at All Out Mutiny, it's pretty much, I can't even say it's up for debate that you are the better 6-man. And the titles you guys have won, to speak to that, you guys have been just tearing it up from day one. For anybody that doesn't believe me, each of you alone, for instance, Axel was a former Whispered Agony champion. Crown was a former Ending Misery champion. Combined, you guys are 3-time Circle of Sanity champions, back-to-back current champions, and former Circle of Sanity TV 6-man champions. If that doesn't say it alone, how incredible that trio is in this league, then I don't know what to tell you guys. But in my personal opinion, Axel, Slash, and Crown are the best 6-man team in this league. And just to round it out, you have your tag team, Poison 1 and Poison 2. Although they haven't won any tag team titles separately, they have won gold. Poison 1, Whispered Agony. Poison 2, Shattered Bloodlust. So again, kudos to your stable. Everybody from top to bottom has been winning titles. So you want to touch on that for the folks at home and let these people know exactly how it is you're getting it done?
Well, that's how Annihilation Inc. works. You come in, we win titles. If we got somebody in here that's not going to be winning titles, then we'll move them somewhere else. Because Annihilation Inc. goes all over the IWA. Yeah. So if somebody comes in here, they can't pull their weight, we'll move them right out the door. We'll get somebody in. It's like kicking somebody to the minor leagues just long enough to let them get themselves back on their feet.
That's a good way to put it.
You know, if Poison 1 and 2 weren't winning anything, I'd have to ship them down, bring up Tag Team B. But Annihilation Inc. is going to win titles in the WWL, and we're going to be a force, or we'll sit back and we'll figure out the combination.
Well, the way it's going, you guys have figured it out. I mean, it's kind of obvious. You actually, whatever formula you have, it's working. You guys have great cohesion, good chemistry, and there's absolutely no denying it. And again, although they haven't won tag team gold, they actually have a chance now to pull their weight in the tag team division, because they are set to face the current Mayhem Tag Team title champions of Fire and Ice, who just won the titles at Viral Violence. So what are your thoughts on Poison Brothers' chances against Fire and Ice, which are arguably one of the most decorated tag teams in IWA history?
Oh, yeah. Once again, you can't take away their accomplishment. But you've known Annihilation Inc. for a long time, and that's how we fly. Poison may not be recognized every time. Poison may not win every match they get in, but when the lights shine the brightest and when everything's on the line, that's when Annihilation steps up. So I fully expect for Poison to come out on top on this one, and we'll accept no less.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely going to be must-see TV. These are 2 behemoth tag teams going at it. I can't even say that I have a favorite, to be honest. It could go either way. It's 50-50 booking. If you ask me, anybody could walk out with those titles. I mean, Fire and Ice, just because of the history that they have when they win titles and how hard it is to get it off of them. But again, Annihilation Inc., you can't sleep on you guys. Whoever does is just stupid, because you have as good a shot as any other roster or stable or tag team or singles or whatever you want to call it to walk out of any pay-per-view with a title. So I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how this match goes about, and if the Poison Brothers can pull out the victory.
Oh yeah, but like you said, Fire and Ice has the belts. I mean, they've proven what they have to prove. Now it's time for us to step up, and we're about to prove what we need to prove.
Absolutely. Now, as far as obviously we just covered the tag team match, but you guys are also, again, you booked in the Unholy Trinity title match. And again, these are titles that you're familiar with these titles because you were, and your stable was in the New Blood League at the time I was running it. Those were the most coveted Mayhem titles there. And at the time, Endgame had like a real grip on those titles for many, many pay-per-view. I think it was 7 pay-per-views straight. And now I kind of brung those over here, and they were basically the debut title holders for the reinstated belts. But now the dynasty has a huge task ahead of them because they're going to be making their first defense of these titles at All Out Mutiny, and it's going to be against Axel, Slash, and Crown. What are your thoughts on that match? And do you feel your guys? I mean, I'm pretty sure obviously you're going to say you guys are going to win, but what are your thoughts on that match in general, going up against such a formidable opponent as far as the dynasty goes?
Definitely a formidable opponent. I mean, these boys have proven, they're nobody to be played with. They're nobody to be screwed around with. But you said it yourself. Axel, Slash, Crown, they're on an unstoppable roll right now. Current champs here. 2 days from now, they're about to be named second-time IWA World Champs. Six men. I mean, they're on a roll. I put my money on Axel, Slash, and Crown, and ain't nobody gonna change my mind.
You heard it, folks. The smart betting is in favor of Annihilation Inc. So if you don't want to lose your money, don't bet against them. So now
I'll go 2-1
There you go, folks. That's smart booking right there. So again, we've touched on your title history. We touched on just how good your stable is. We touched on the 2 matches you guys are going to be involved in at All Out Mutiny. I think it's time to now dive into this current feud that you guys have with none other than the Legion of Darkness. But before we get into that, the meat and potatoes of this interview, I do have to point out that one of your former allies, Phantom Striker, is no longer in the league. He basically settled his score with Lord Evil Priest. And for whatever reason, personal reason, he decided to leave the league. I believe he's like a journeyman. So I didn't expect him to stay too long. I think now he's in the Louisiana Swamp League, raising hell over there. But that's Striker. You know how he is. He's a fucking loose cannon. He likes to go to different leagues. Him and Barbie, they like to make their presence felt in different leagues, which is fine. I'm fortunate enough that I had him, in the WWL for as long as he was. And hopefully one day he'll come back. But right now, without him in the equation, it seems like you really don't give a shit because your sights are still set on LOD. And you guys made an example this past cycle. And I wanted to kind of dive into that because it seems like you guys finally made some moves and attacked LOD. And I think Angel of Annihilation was behind this attack, was she not?
Oh, yes. Angel Annihilation was, let's just say, pissed off. Before we even get into too much of this, I want to tell you that I actually had her booked to come on with me.
Oh, wow.
I know this is an uncensored show, but the shit that was coming out of her mouth, I don't think even would have flew on here.
Listen, it goes here.
There's some things you can get away with on HBO, and there's other things that just have to have a new rating.
And 17.
I got Angel to sit down. I told her I'd be sure and cover all her points for her, but to say she's pissed off is an understatement. As far as Striker not being here, I think that's probably what is going to propel us to go ahead and take this feud to the next level. Because, to be honest, he just scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
So I just tried to, all of us in Annihilation Inc., we just tried to stay the hell out of his way.
Smart.
So now that we don't have to worry about, backlash for Barbie, it's time to step up the game.
Oh yeah, and just for the folks at home that aren't caught up with the whole Annihilation Inc. LOD feud that's been going on. This has been ongoing for quite some time now. I want to say at least 7 cycles strong, 6 or 7 cycles. The big part of this where it really started getting pretty crazy, I want to say was around the time I believe Lord Evil Priest had just finished one of his matches against Striker in that best of 5 series, and he called you out in a Turnbuckle Thursday main event. And unfortunately for you, Cardinal Sin and Bishop Faith were hiding in the crowd ringside, and they pretty much ambushed you. So it was a 3-on-1 attack. They put you through the announcers table, and they pretty much let you have it from there. And then I believe after that, they turned their attention to Angel of Annihilation. Angel of Annihilation, if I'm not mistaken, she was having a book signing, and she was signing some autographs for her fans. Obviously, she has a huge fan base here in the women's division, and she was sneak attacked by Mother Superior and Sister Cynthia, and ended up getting put through the front glass of the store that she was in. So she suffered some injuries as well, and this actually led to you challenging LOD to a singles tag and 6-man pretty much scenario, which I went ahead and booked because you guys both agreed on it, and it seemed they actually got the upper hand. To be honest, I mean, I gotta give credit where it's due. And during that Turnbuckle Thursday main event, I had Cardinal Sin booked against you, and he just edged you out by late. He pretty much hit you with his praying powerbomb finish. It was one of your off nights. Obviously, you can't win them all, so I can't, knock you for that one. Poison Brothers actually did end up winning that day, and they beat Bishop Faith and Lord Evil Priest. And Cardinal Sin, Mother Superior, and Lord Evil Priest combined, they actually defeated Axel, Slash, and Crown barely, but they managed to be. So they took 2 out of those 3 in that series. So it's not going to be a walkover by any stretch of the means. But what are your thoughts going forward with this feud, knowing that they kind of made a statement not only by attacking you guys, but showing that they can beat you as well?
My first thought on that is I'm going to start a petition right now. You're hearing it here. You're hearing it first.
Exclusive.
Our esteemed commissioner, every night that they're in a building from now on, what I want is the door of LOD's locker room to have a picture of a big asshole, because nothing's going to come out of it but shit. Now,
I'm sure I can accommodate that request.
I'll give it that, yeah, they had an off night, or we had an off night. They took advantage of it. Caught us right in the middle of all this purge bullshit.
Yeah. As they should, though. You got to give them credit. They did what they had to. They took advantage of a situation. Can't take that away from them.
No, Annihilation has made a living doing that.
It is, exactly. You guys wrote the book on it.
They just managed to turn the tables on us.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, tell them step up anytime we want. We'll book the same set of matches, different outcome. We ain't worried about that. You just listed everything that's going on in this feud. Mm-hmm. If you listed that again, we could just hang up the phone right now. Once again, there, nothing comes out of them but shit. They've attacked me right after a match when I wasn't looking. Mm-hmm. They attacked Angel when she had her back turned to her.
This is true.
There's 2 sets of people in this feud, LOD and Annihilation. There's only one of these sets of people that's looking anybody in the eye and saying, come here and let's take a fight. Anybody can jump somebody when they ain't looking. Stand up, let's go toe-to-toe, and let's put a exclamation point on this thing.
I like where this is going. Now, what I'm thinking of doing, I mean, we do have some time leading up to All Out Unity. I believe it's about 3 cycles away. I think I might just set up something for one of these Turnbuckle Thursday main events. What do you think?
You set it up. All you got to do is hand us the contract. Our signatures are on it. Hell, give me a contract now. I'll sign it, and then you can fill in the stipulations after that.
LOD, after this interview, he's going to sign the contracts. I will be reaching out to you guys. I'm going to set up the match. You heard it here first. This is an exclusive. On next cycle's Turnbuckle Thursday main event, shit is going to go down. Annihilation Inc. versus LOD. This fucking feud is going to be taken to the next level. Whether it leads into All Out Mutiny, I really don't give a shit. I'm focused about next cycle. You guys better sign on those fucking dotted lines and step up to this challenge, because Justin just put you guys on notice.
Yes, and just let me clarify. I'm going to sign my name on a blank piece of paper. Y'all fill out anything you want to put on it. I don't care what
any stipulations, anything goes. Oh shit, you heard that.
You got it. We are tired of messing with LOD. We're going to put an exclamation point on this shit. The challenge is out there. I'm waiting on somebody to answer.
I can't see them backing down from this. If there was ever a time, LOD, if you're listening, which I know you're gonna hear this, if there was ever a time for you to put your money where your mouth is, it's right now. So you heard it here. He's going to sign a blank let me repeat this, because I don't think they understand the severity and the monumental magnitude of what you just said. You're going to sign a blank contract where they get to pick any stipulation, any series matchup they want, LOD versus AI next cycle, already signed. They got to do it. They got to do it, Justin. I don't. If they back out of this, then this feud is over.
Oh, if they back out this feud's over. They're over.
Out of the
I
league.
mean, just pack up your bags. Do we have a babies league?
Send them to the NJ.
If they won't step up to that, I mean,
Send them to
they
the
need to go
Japan
back
league.
down to the little kiddie league.
Yeah, there's plenty of those. But LOD, if you do not accept, getting the fuck out of my league. You guys better come. You better contact me after you hear this shit. Give me the stipulations. I'm gonna post this shit in the war room, and this shit's gonna go down next cycle for sure. It's gonna go down. And again, if it doesn't, you guys are out of my league.
And I don't care if it's next cycle. I don't care if they want it to stretch over the next 22 cycles. Hell, we'll do something ain't never been done before. We'll do a best of 91 series. I don't give a damn. Write it on the contract. Annihilation Inc's gonna show up.
Oh man. Oh, that's some good stuff right there. I know they're gonna listen. They're gonna listen to this, and it's you just put them on blast. You put them on notice right now. That's what just happened.
Well, shit got real when they put their hands on the first lady of Annihilation.
Yeah, I figured that.
I mean, that's when
that was
everything
gonna sit well with you guys.
You don't mess with, she's a bitch, but she's our bitch.
There you go. Exactly. And they made the wrong move. If you ask me, they made a move that they're gonna regret. But again, I can't. I'm not speaking for them. I don't know what they got up their sleeve. Maybe this is all calculated. You're talking about a group that delves in witchery and witchcraft and spells and black fucking magic and all kinds of crazy shit. So I don't know what they got going up their sleeve. I don't know how serious they're taking this. But we're gonna find out. I'm pretty sure we're gonna find out soon. And again, they're gonna hear this podcast, and they better come and tell me, listen, Mayhem, these are the matches we want. Get it done, and I'm gonna do just that. So if you guys get my report next cycle, if you don't see those matches signed, you know who ran from this challenge, and it's not AI.
That's right.
Now that we got this out of the way, everybody obviously knows how serious that feud is. I'm actually excited to see where this feud goes from here. Again, balls in your court, LOD. But and I actually am gonna have some of their members on 2 weeks from now, so we're definitely gonna get to hear from them. Hopefully sooner than that. But if not, you guys will hear some kind of retaliation prior to cycle 12. So this might actually get a lot more interesting than it sounds right now. So I'm eager to hear their response, to say the least.
As are we. I mean, we're sitting here waiting. I've got the TV on now. I'm looking for them.
There you go. Now, Justin, but before we wrap this up, I just wanted to get your thoughts on just the league in general, the state of the league that it's in right now. As far as how do you think it's going to be doing the next couple of cycles? Now that we have this, this pretty much condensed roster, I want to say we have some great managers, most of them you're familiar with. Where do you see this league going in the next, let's say, 5 to 10 cycles from now?
Well, you have the best managers in one place right now. Mm-hmm. You listed the accomplishments of Axel / Crown, but I could sit here right now and name 5 other 6-man that are a true threat to every 6-man title every cycle. Yeah. Oh yeah, you have put together probably the toughest league in the IWA right now.
Yeah. I can't.
There is no match is a guarantee.
I actually touched on that in the last podcast with Wolf, where I told her exactly what you said. Nothing's guaranteed. If you're on that title page, you fucking earned that title because everyone is gunning for those titles. Everyone is extremely capable of winning those titles, whether it's going up against somebody, whether it's gaining it from a battle royal. It really doesn't matter. Like, those titles are not safe in anyone's hands, and for anyone to retain those titles like you guys had, that's a testament to just how good your group is. But again, that's not gonna last forever because somebody's gonna come knocking on that door and take those titles away from you. So it is a tough league, ultra competitive. But again, you guys are right there on the top. You're one of those. Your stable is one of the reasons why it's so ultra competitive. So I'm glad you guys you guys called the WWO your home because you could have won any other league, but you chose to come here. So, thank you for sticking it out with us here in the Wicked Wars League. I'm looking forward to many, many more leagues. I mean, many, many more cycles down the line where you guys are involved to one, some capacity or another, whether it's in pay-per-views, main event matches, regular matches, feuds, sneak attacks, whatever it is. I'm just wholeheartedly glad that Annihilation Inc. is in the WWO.
Well, I just want to touch on something you said before we start winding this down. And
Go for it.
it's just that, you win a belt here, and it can be any belt on that page, and you got a source of pride. Mm-hmm. I could take Annihilation Inc. to, well, I won't mention other leagues' names, and we could have 6 belts every cycle. Mm-hmm. And we're not the only ones. I mean, every manager in that league could do the same thing. But in the WWL, if you look up and you won 2 belts that cycle, you're proud. You're showing them belts off. Just like when I stepped in here, I said, hold on, you wait. I got a belt over my shoulder. You let people know that.
That's true.
Because it's something to be proud of.
Yep. So especially for some of you newer managers that are coming on board, I mentioned in the last podcast, we do have some fresh meats, so to speak, that came on board, including Crypt Keepers. We have Lightning Kings that joined. We have Inazuma, who's a Mexican female wrestler, already getting her feet wet, going into a feud with Esmeralda Diamandias. So we do have some newcomers into the league. Do you have any advice for these newer managers that are either already in the league now or on their way in?
Just exactly what me and you talked about. You are walking into the toughest league in the IWA period. If you don't have success on day one, keep your head up, keep grinding at it. The success will get there. The only way you can be the best is to go up against the best.
Yep.
And every time, if you get knocked down, you're just going to learn something. So just remember, you're in the toughest league there is. There's not going to be any give-me's.
That's right.
When you win something, you earned it.
That's right. I mean, that's probably the best advice you can give to these guys. Because again, there are going to be. I actually have some contracts in the works now, and I'm not going to obviously. Again, I don't reveal who these people are, but I do have some people coming inbound pretty soon, and maybe some even returning that were already with the league in its inception. So I'm really excited to see how things play out, especially after All Out Mutiny. Again, the pay-per-view after All Out Mutiny is going to be Femme Fatale, and that's going to be the all women's pay-per-view, which I'm pretty sure Angel of Annihilation is going to have a huge role to play in that pay-per-view, as will all the other females in the league, because we do have a stacked women's division. Even though a lot of the managers I got, a lot of the Cretans I got rid of had female managers. I mean, female wrestlers. It's still a tough division, wouldn't you say?
I was agreeing with you that, yeah, it'll be Angel of Annihilation and everybody else will take, second place.
Yeah. And speaking of Angel of Annihilation, I did say I had a surprise announcement to make just to spice things up because I'm the commissioner and I can do that and she deserves this. And obviously you guys already know we do have a huge triple threat next cycle coming up for the Goddess Extreme World Championship. That match will now be a fatal 4-way. Angel of Annihilation, you have been inserted into that match. So now it's going to be the champion Denise Destiny versus Miss Eva Danger versus Tanya E. Dangerously versus the First Lady of Annihilation Inc., Angel of Annihilation. What are your thoughts on this groundbreaking news?
First off, I have to give you a big thank you. One, Angel is getting what she deserves. She's been worthy of a shot and just has to work her way into it. But more than anything, I'm thanking you because when I let her out of that room here in a little bit, knowing how pissed off she already is, maybe this will calm her down just a little bit.
just a tad.
Maybe I won't have to listen to her all night like I was expecting to.
Well, listen, you owe me one for saving your ass right there.
Well, you did. So, I'll
Nah, but
bet you back someday.
hey, in all seriousness, she's definitely earned it. I mean, we already touched on her accolades here. And there's no way I could have put her in this. This is actually something I was gonna do anyway. But as a good commissioner that I am, I had to play it up and kind of build the anticipation. So again, this match next cycle is officially, for everybody listening, a fatal four-way for the Goddess Extreme World Championship. Winner goes on to face one-on-one Mistress of Pain, Susie Sweet, will be lying in the waiting at All Out Mutiny. So this is gonna be a pretty intense cycle coming up. Taboo Tuesdays again. It's pretty much a brand new show, main event show exclusively for the women. And what better way to really kick this off going into this new era? Pretty much, Wicked Wars Uncensored 2.0 than to have this blockbuster fatal four-way match going on. So I'm gonna wish her all the best in this match. She has every chance, to win this. So I won't put it past her that she walks out the champion. I really can't.
No, but I'm gonna say you don't make it easy for anybody, do you?
Oh hell no! You gotta earn it. This is Wicked Wars, baby. You gotta earn it, just like anybody else. I think Giuliano mentioned that in his podcast. I make it hard on him, but you know what? That's what brings the best out of you. That's what That's what helps you to know just how good you are. And right now, those four women that are involved in that match, any one of them could walk out of there as a champion. Even Tanya E. Dangerous, she is exactly that. She's dangerous, and But again, I can't even. There's not a clear favorite in this. Anybody could do it. Anybody could walk out the champion. But this is for the fans. This is for the universe. This is for everybody that loves the league, that loves the competition, that loves a good matchup. It doesn't get better than this in the women's division.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a fight. And then as soon as they're done, there's another one waiting in the wings.
That's right. Equally deserving. And she earned her spot regardless. So Susie Sweet,
Exactly.
that's her one-on-one chance. She earned that. She's not going anywhere. But now it's up to the other four to see who's going to face her. So we'll see. So tell Angel, get ready. She got her wish. Tell her I said you're welcome. But now it's time to capitalize on that, because I can only do so much. I gave you an opportunity. Now it's time to step up and take it.
That's right. Well, once again, you made my night a whole lot easier.
But there you go. Go crack a beer open. Go relax. Go give her the good news, and send her my way with hugs and kisses.
Will do.
All right, folks. I'm just gonna wrap it up here. Just before I do, you have any last words you want to say to anybody, either the WWE Universe, one last dig at LOD, whoever it is, anything you want to say, you say it now.
Just LOD. I'm waiting. Click.
Better sign that contract. We'll see. As soon as I find out, believe me, you'll be the first one to know, Justin. I'll come personally to you, hand delivered, and give you the news. How's that?
That'll work. Bring beer.
And I'll bring some beer. All right, folks. You heard it here tonight. I had again the one and only, the head of Annihilation Inc., Mr. Justin Kai. I want to thank you for joining me tonight on this podcast. It was a pleasure having you as always. I look forward to having you on many more podcasts down the line. So thank you for joining me on the show. This is Commissioner Melvin Mayhem signing off. You take care. Justin, have a good one. Until next time.
Thanks for having me.
Take care, brother.